Hey everyone, it's Matt from Greatness Every Day, and in this video we're talking about 5 tips to be more productive when working from home. And this is actually video number 3 in a series of working from home videos. So when you're done watching this video, if you want to go check the rest of them out, I know you're going to get lots of value from them and I'd really appreciate it. But today, here, we're talking about 5 things that you can do to increase your productivity, or maybe someone else that you know is working from home either temporarily or permanently, or they're a digital nomad and they work in these types of environments that you can share this video with. And increasing your productivity is really simple if you do these 5 things. So we're going to get started with number 1. The first thing that I think you should do is wherever you're working, you should have a designated space, because what it does is it tells your brain, consciously, subconsciously, it tells your body that when you're in that environment, when you are in that area, your purpose there is to work, and that can be extremely powerful. The same way that kitchens, bathrooms, bedrooms have their purposes, your workspace is a purpose as well. And really the goal is to be productive and produce quality work, and some of these things are going to help you do that. So as we get into this, number 1, have a designated workspace because it increases productivity. But at the same time, you are also able to minimize or eliminate entirely distractions like family members, maybe a dog, maybe a phone, maybe a doorbell ringing, something like that, so that when you are working, if you had to do a video call or you had to take a phone call or you need to focus in on one task in particular, you are able to do so. So that is tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to schedule out your days in advance. And for me, I do this in 2 ways. Number 1 is every Sunday evening, I take the bigger important tasks for my week and I go through and I schedule those out on a calendar. Now I use a calendar on my Mac. You can use it in your phone. You can use a different program. It doesn't matter. You could write it down and schedule it out so you can see it like on a wall. That piece doesn't matter. But what matters is you are taking out the prioritization of the important events, and you're saying on Monday from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock I have this coaching call. On Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every evening I have a 1-hour block taken out for me to go for a run, something like that. It doesn't matter. Whatever is important for you, you're blocking out those times, and then you can fill in the less important or less prioritized tasks in and around that. Every day, after I've done that for the week, every day I do also go in the evening before. So before I go to sleep on Monday, for example, I schedule out my day on Tuesday, pretty detailed in terms of 15, 30, 1-hour blocks. I'm able to go through and do that. And I find that helps me keep on task, be more productive. If something does come up that I need to rearrange and shuffle things, then it's really easy because I've done it digitally to go through that. So that is tip number 2. Tip number 3, and one of my favorite, actually, I go ahead and I like to work often in what I call Pomodoros. And there's a lot of information out there on the Pomodoro technique, but it is extremely effective to increasing focus, increasing productivity, and maybe more importantly, reducing fatigue for your body, for your mental state, and everything else. So what a Pomodoro is when you have a 25-minute work period followed by a 5-minute period of rest. And you can set these up simply with a timer, but for those 25 minutes, you work on what you're supposed to be working on, and you go through, you complete that task. When the 25-minute timer is up, whether you've done the task or not, you take a mandatory 5-minute relaxation break. So it's a smaller break before, after those 5 minutes are complete, you go back in and complete your second Pomodoro. And after a course of 4 of these Pomodoros repeated over time, so we're looking at 2 hours, then you go ahead and you take a longer scheduled break. And there's a lot of technology out there. I use an app on my phone that I'm going to link down below that you can go ahead and kind of download if you want to, or look at the other Pomodoro apps that are there. But it's a great method and something that I would highly recommend to anybody that really wants to go through and be more productive. It's something for sure that's going to help you. So number 4 is act and do as many things as possible in your day, in your life, to consider like you are working in a normal circumstance. So for me, I try to wake up at the exact same time. If I was heading to work like normally, I try to go ahead and do my morning routine the exact same way, getting ready, getting prepared, maybe shaving or getting up and getting dressed in like good clothing that you would actually wear to work, because you're again telling your brain consciously or subconsciously that you are in that state. You're there to work, whether your workplace is your actual workplace or you're working from home. That is something that you can do. Pack a lunch maybe, make sure that the things that would be involved and good pieces of your normal day are still being incorporated. So that could also be taking a couple minutes and calling one of your friends that you would talk to, that you normally get to when you're at work. So many different things that can look like, but that is tip number 4. And tip number 5 is keep your workspace clean. And for me, I do try to keep my space here as clean as possible. Number 1, just in general for me, because when I do get cluttered around, everything starts to get disorganized. That's when I do, and my energy does, and my focus. So it's something that I do try to clean up a little bit every day, and over the course of a week, now that I'm spending a lot of time at home, go through and split the cleaning up for the different days per different kind of area of my home. And number 2, also for these videos, I want to make sure that they're clean but real. So I really didn't have to do a lot to get ready for this video. I went ahead and I took a few post-it notes off and just threw them on my couch over there. So that is tip number 5. And these are 5 tips to be more productive when working from home. I hope this video helped. Would you please click the thumbs up button, share this video with somebody that you think is going to benefit from it, and subscribe here on YouTube for more videos about living your greatest life tied into personal development, health, wealth, and more. I really appreciate you being here. Remember, choose greatness every day, and I'll see you next time.